Have you ever wondered, if you left your home country to work somewhere else, how much could your income actually increase? There are countries in the world where average salaries are several times higher than most other nations. But the interesting thing is, the highest paying places aren't always the ones people think of first. And sometimes, a higher salary doesn't mean you actually keep more money. Some places have taxes close to zero. Some places have very high salaries, but also one of the most expensive costs of living in the world. And there are countries where workers not only earn more, but also live more balanced lives. So the real question isn't, how much do you earn? It's, how much do you actually keep and how does your life change? In this video, we'll explore together the 10 countries with the highest salaries in the world today. From the financial centers of Europe to the resource-rich economies of the Middle East, and nations renowned for their quality of life. Each place has its own story about money, career opportunities, and how people build their lives. And the surprising thing is, a few countries on this list pay higher salaries than the US in many fields. But the country at the top of the ranking is truly the place with the highest average income on the planet. So where can you earn the most, and where can you actually live better? Let's begin this journey. Number 10, Germany. There's something interesting about Germany. It's the largest economy in Europe, but the lifestyle is very balanced. The average salary in Germany is around $5,000 per month, not the highest in the world, but very stable, and especially secure. What surprises many people isn't the salary, it's the protection given to workers. In Germany, firing an employee is not easy at all. Employment contracts are very strict, and paid vacation can reach 20 to 30 days per year. The cost of living in Germany is more manageable than Switzerland or Northern Europe, especially outside of Munich or Frankfurt. And right now, Germany is facing a serious shortage of skilled workers. Engineers, IT professionals, healthcare workers are all being recruited internationally. So for many people, Germany is the first step to working in Europe. But if you want an even higher salary, look to the other side of the globe. Number 9, Australia. Australia has a very unique appeal: sunshine, ocean, wide open spaces, and a strong economy. The average salary here is around $4,800 to $5,000 per month, comparable to many developed nations. But there's one big difference. Australia's minimum wage is among the highest in the world. This keeps the income gap from being too wide, and the middle class is very strong. Many people from abroad choose Australia not just for the money, but for the pace of life. A clear work week, full vacation time, a work culture more relaxed than America's. Of course, housing prices in Sydney or Melbourne are far from cheap. In fact, they're very high. But in return, you're living in a country with a quality of life ranked among the world's best. That's why Australia is often seen as a place where you can both earn well and live well. But if your goal is to keep as much money as possible, there's a region of the world that does this far better. Number 8, United Arab Emirates. Imagine receiving your monthly paycheck and keeping almost all of it. That's the reality in the UAE. The most special thing about this country is that there is no personal income tax. That means with the same salary as in the US or Europe, the money you actually take home is significantly higher. Dubai and Abu Dhabi have become global employment hubs. Finance, aviation, technology, real estate. Thousands of international professionals work here with very competitive incomes. Many Americans who move to Dubai discover something interesting. They don't necessarily earn more than before, but they save much more. Of course, the UAE has its downsides too. High cost of living, a lavish lifestyle culture, and jobs are often contract-based. But if your goal is to accelerate your finances in just a few years, the UAE is one of the most effective places in the world. And from here on in the list, average salaries start climbing even faster. Number 7, Singapore. There's a city in the world smaller than many other major cities, but with income that competes globally. That's Singapore. The average salary here is around $4,800 per month, but in finance, technology, or biomedical fields, that number is much higher. What makes Singapore special isn't just the salary. It's the low taxes, lower than Europe and even lower than many US states. That means your take-home pay is very competitive. Singapore is also Asia's financial hub. Many international corporations have their regional headquarters here. So many foreign professionals see Singapore as an international career launchpad. Of course, the cost of living here is not low, especially housing. But in return, you're living in one of the world's safest, cleanest, and most efficient cities. For many, Singapore is a place to earn fast and advance fast. But when it comes to building financial wealth, there's still a country that takes it even further. Number 6, Qatar. Qatar is a very special case. It's one of the wealthiest countries in the world per capita. And just like the UAE, the biggest draw lies in taxes. No personal income tax. This makes take-home salaries much higher than most of the world. The best-paying industries in Qatar are typically related to energy, infrastructure, and aviation. Even after its major development phase, the country still needs many international professionals. One thing that sets Qatar apart from many Western countries is the benefits packages that come with jobs. Housing, insurance, flights home, sometimes included in the contract. This significantly reduces personal living costs. Many people who work a few years in Qatar can save an amount of money that would take decades elsewhere. Of course, it's not an environment suited for everyone. A very different culture, a more restricted lifestyle, and career opportunities concentrated in specific industries. But purely in terms of financial accumulation speed, Qatar is one of the strongest places in the world. And as we leave the Middle East and return to Europe, the salaries on our list keep rising. Number 5, Norway. Norway is a very different kind of country, not because of how rich it is, but because of how it distributes that wealth. The average salary in Norway is around $5,700 per month, among the highest in Europe. Much of this income comes from energy and the maritime economy. But what's special is that high income isn't reserved for the upper class alone. In Norway, even ordinary jobs command meaningful wages. The wealth gap is among the lowest in the world, and workers are very strongly protected. Shorter working hours, long vacation time, a clear work-life balance. Many foreigners who move to Oslo often realize one thing: they're not necessarily much richer, but their lives are far more stable. Of course, Norway is also famously expensive. Food, housing, services all are high. But in return, you're living in a country with a standard of living and social welfare system ranked among the world's best. And from here on in the list, we enter the group of countries with the highest incomes on the planet. Number 4, Luxembourg. Some countries are great because of their population, some because of their resources. Luxembourg is different. This country is so small you could drive across it in just a few hours. But its income levels rank among the highest in the world. Average salary is around $5,700 per month, and in the financial sector, the number can be much higher. Luxembourg is a banking hub of Europe. Many investment funds and international financial institutions are headquartered here. This draws in a large international workforce. In fact, every day tens of thousands of people commute from France, Germany, and Belgium to work here. One interesting point about Luxembourg is that the tax structure for foreign professionals offers many advantages. This makes take-home pay very competitive in the region. The cost of living here is not low, but the small size of the country makes everything feel closer and more accessible. Many people who work in Luxembourg describe the lifestyle as more like a wealthy town than a noisy financial center. And from a small country that is among the wealthiest in Europe, we arrive at a place where happiness and income almost go hand in hand. Number 3 is Denmark. Denmark is often mentioned as one of the happiest countries in the world. But few people know that incomes here are also among the highest. Average salary is around $6,000 per month. What's unique about Denmark is that there's no official minimum wage. But thanks to strong labor agreements, actual earnings remain very high and consistent. Taxes in Denmark are high, very high, but in return people receive education, healthcare, and comprehensive social welfare. So many people living here don't feel like they're losing money. They feel protected and secure. Working hours in Denmark are shorter than in the US. Vacation time is longer, and the work culture is far less pressured. Denmark shows us a different definition of wealth, not just high income, but high quality of life. And from Northern Europe, we come back to a much more familiar country, but one that still sits firmly in the group of the highest-paying nations in the world. Number 2, United States. The United States holds a very special place on this list. It's the world's largest economy, and also the place that produces the most millionaires. The average salary in the US is around $5,000 per month, but this number varies enormously by region and industry. In technology, finance, and healthcare, incomes can be far higher than in most other countries. Silicon Valley, New York, Seattle are places where salaries rank among the highest in the world. What sets America apart isn't just salary levels, it's opportunity. A massive market, countless businesses, rapid innovation. So for many international professionals, the US remains the place for the strongest career growth. Of course, America has its downsides too: high healthcare costs, expensive housing in major cities, and wide income inequality. But overall, the US still sits in the group of the world's highest-paying nations. And only one country stands above the US in average income. A small country in Europe with the highest salaries on the planet. Number 1, Switzerland. There is a country in Europe where the average salary is higher than nearly every other place in the world. That country is Switzerland. The average income here is around $6,500 per month, and in many industries, the actual figures are even higher. Finance, pharmaceuticals, precision engineering all pay salaries among the highest globally. But what makes Switzerland special isn't just the salary, it's purchasing power. Despite the very high cost of living, incomes are still high enough to maintain an extremely high standard of living. Cities like Zurich and Geneva consistently rank among the places with the highest income and quality of life in the world. Many foreigners who move to Switzerland discover something interesting. They don't just earn more money, they feel a noticeably stronger sense of financial stability. A strong currency, a stable economy, a high-quality labor market. Switzerland isn't easy to get into, it's not cheap to live in. But purely in terms of average income, it remains the highest-paying country on the planet. And those are the 10 countries with the highest salaries in the world today. But there's one important thing this list makes very clear. The highest salary doesn't always mean the wealthiest life. In Switzerland or Norway, you earn a great deal, but the cost of living is also very high. In the UAE or Qatar, salaries may be somewhat lower, but the money you keep is significantly greater. In Denmark, high income comes alongside a balanced way of life. And in America, the greatest income opportunities still exist. So the best country to work in isn't the same for everyone. It depends on your goals. You want the highest salary, Switzerland. You want to build wealth fast, UAE or Qatar. You want work-life balance, Denmark or Norway. You want the biggest career opportunities, the United States. In the end, wealth isn't just the money you earn. It's the life you can build with it. What about you? Which country would you be willing to move to for work? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to keep exploring places around the world where people live better, earn more, and work differently, make sure to watch until the end of the video to find out which country pays the highest salaries in the world.